Last week on the show, we explored the lucrative world of coffee farming in Chotera district.
When you compare ACDP with other projects, you may realize that this one has greatly impacted the district positively.
Longula mweno yakuwange mwanyi yakuwange ekijimusa nekuwe tundubali nekuwe dagala wange mwanyi yali yona nange esanyusa.
Currently we have 487 tons of coffee that we are producing, and before the project we were producing 250.
This morning finds us in Mbarara, where we spent the night. Today, we're heading to Isingiro, about 50 kilometers from Mbarara. The sun is on a mission, but the Seeds of Gold team is eager to discover the agriculture treasures this day has in store. The overall objective of the ACDP project is to raise on-farm productivity, production, and marketable volumes of selected agricultural commodities in specified geographical clusters. Isingiro district is one of the beneficiaries of this initiative. Our day begins with a visit to the district offices, where we meet our focal person, Patrick. Impressed by the well-built infrastructure of the district, we are optimistic about the promising developments ahead.
We are now in the land of milk and honey and beauty, of course. And we start our leg in Isingiro district, where close to 2,000 farmers have been impacted by the ACDP project, and where beans are the seed of gold. We start this episode off in Kaberebere United Farmers Cooperative, where close to 2,000 farmers are benefiting from the project and about 61 farmers groups. Stick around.
Patrick provides us with an overview of how the ACDP has significantly aided farmers in this district, enhancing their productivity and market reach.
As has been the case with the other districts, here we get to meet the ACDP focal person and district agriculture officer, Mr. Tumwesije. It's nice to have you on the show. So we would like an overview of the district in itself and how the project has impacted it.
The project was focusing on two key enterprises. Those were beans and coffee, which are among our major enterprises in Isingiro. So that project had the approach, of course, the first was to do awareness, then later go on capacity building. First of all, of the technical staff, then of course, capacity building of the farmers.
Do you have an estimate of number of farmers in the district that were impacted by this project?
So far, under the e-voucher system, what we are using the e-voucher system, our target was 10,000 farmers. But by end of the fourth year, we are in around 12,000 farmers already on the e-voucher who have benefited from the project. But when you look at the groups, the ones we call the rural producer groups, we started with 23, but so far we are 252. And those rural producer groups are linked to the nine big barking centers, which are already registered as cooperatives at national level.
Here, the cooperative's chairperson shares her insights on the operations and the significant progress the farmers have achieved.
This cooperative was formerly Isingiro United Farmers Group, and it had a membership of 35 members. Later, we found that we could not fill this facility to the top. So together with the agriculture officer, district agriculture officer, we mobilized more farmer groups to join us. We started with 15. We deal in bulking and trading and collective marketing of grains, majorly beans and maize. And we happen to bulk just 7 tons of beans. But now we are 61 groups. They are all on board with a membership of 1,692 members. ACDP was introduced in Kaberebere Town Council in 2018. We passed through trainings. We started getting some materials for agriculture. There were beans, there were fertilizers, hoes, and some other agriculture products. So we were mobilized and told that when you are many in a group, many beneficiaries have an opportunity of getting the matching grant. So we applied for the matching grant, which was 67 government and 33 for farmers. We mobilized the funds and came up with this beautiful facility. So we are so grateful that we are among those who got the opportunity to get the matching grant under ACDP. Because we were not together for the first time, everyone could dig on her own, we could harvest, we could sell everyone on her own, and get the lowest prices because you could sell even immediately. But now we bulk and wait for the prices to rise. Farmers used to plant their beans and sell to these middlemen. But now as we are bulking together and doing collective marketing, we bulk our produce in quantities, we sell at a better price because we wait for the prices to rise. Then we get an income at household levels, and we do some other business because when we get an income, we even go for diversification. We have other products like liquid soap, like bar soap, like bagia, mandazi, all in our group members. So it has transformed in our community because the households have an income. We are now 1,692. So with our share capital and the profit we are making, we happen to buy more land. We have even acquired a land title for that land. That is the magic in the numbers.
On what the future holds for this cooperative, Rehema is quick to share quite a number of plans already in place, and the sky can only be the limit for these farmers.
In 5 years, we are thinking of going for value addition because the more you add value, the more you get a better price. So we are thinking of value addition, but unfortunately the facility has no power. So we would wish to be having power. Then we have other machines. We need a sorting, we need a grading, we need a packaging. We need to go for UNBS certification. So that's in our future plan. We need also to go for some other activities like poultry, like livestock. Like when you enter into this fence, you find everything inside. So we are applying for having an incubation hub around this place.
61 groups of farmers, a clear depiction that so many have been impacted is this. It is currently off season, but hey, look at the numbers in storage. And that simply shows how much and how many more can be impacted by this project. So I guess we should have some more, wouldn't you say?
Patrick acknowledges that convincing farmers to contribute was initially challenging. However, he highlights that the e-voucher initiative was so appealing that it led farmers to recruit their peers through persuasive efforts.
We had to concentrate on awareness first, to ensure that farmers get the concept very well. Then also, we had to ensure that the farmers we are selecting, the farmers we are dealing with, the groups, these people come up with an idea of farming as a business. So when that one sank into their minds, the issue of contribution became very easy.
Yeah.
But again, contribution using the e-voucher system helped these farmers to acquire improved inputs, which are not adulterated, where we don't have counterfeits, what was easy to do traceability. The first batch of farmers we started with kept now attracting other farmers by looking at what they are doing, but also what they have acquired, unlike in the past with other programs or projects. Yeah.
I see. Give us an estimate of productivity in the entire district.
At the onset of the project, we carried out a baseline survey. You'd find a farmer getting 2-3 bags. That's around 200-300 kilograms in the entire acre. But those farmers I talked about, the ones who registered under e-voucher, the ones who received the inputs, so far what we have gathered, the data we have gathered from the field under agricultural statistics being collected by agriculture extension workers, now most of the farmers range between 700 to 900 per acre. So shifting from 200 to 300, then a farmer goes to 700 to 900 kilograms per acre. But that one, taking factors constant, especially under good rains, because we are under rain-fed agriculture. With good weather, Whenever we get good weather, farmers plant early and use all the inputs. A whole technical package which was offered by ACDP, the farmers have been able to double and triple the yield. And that one has been reflected in the entire district.
I see.
Because in all the 30 rural governments, that's the town councils and sub-counties, ACDP has been there.
Yeah.
And the impact has also been realized. We have two categories, all kinds of seed. We have our traditional bean seed, the traditional varieties. Then we have what we would call the improved ones, the better performers. So the improved ones, those ones are mainly from Kawanda and Namuronge. So ACDP did not invent or did not produce a different seed called ACDP. No. ACDP found farmers already having their traditional varieties. Then we linked them to improve the varieties which were already in place but not easily accessible. So for instance, in Isingiro, there are many varieties, but surprisingly, farmers came up with about four improved varieties, like what we call the narrow bean series. We have narrow bean 1, narrow bean 2, narrow bean 3. Then we have narrow bean 4C, that's the climber, narrow bean 5C. So, but for them, the big interest was on narrow bean 2, which is called number short, because they know it's good. Again, it is marketable. Yeah. Then they also moved to what they call the Nabe series, the Namuronge bean, the Nabe series. So the Nabe series, of course, they are up to 21. But farmers selected the Nabe 16, Nabe 15, Nabe 16, Nabe 17, and Nabe 19.
Lives are being transformed. Now we are going to take a short commercial break, and when we return, it's farming opportunities with Bukola Chemical Industries. If you could just stick around a little bit longer, you too can pick a leaf from the farmers in Isingiro.
These park centers are business centers. And we started with having a structure in place as a barking center. So farmers, because of having resources, which they have, of course, accumulated, so they have been able to improve on acquisition of some equipment which they used not to have, and which are on demand as far as the market is concerned. Because now they are in a different market segment. Even the people they are dealing with, these are big buyers who would like to have the quality and the quantity observed.
This shift has significantly boosted productivity, making a major achievement.
Most of these barking centers, at the same time, they have also an element of seed multiplication. That's one. We call it quality declared seed.
Well, Ms. Kanthime, you have value addition here, and then you have post-harvest handling.
Yeah.
Yes, but how many farmers are we looking at in this group?
50.
50 farmers. Yeah. And it's mostly women, I heard.
One man and
49 women.
Yeah.
That must be interesting, isn't it? So let's get an understanding of exactly what is done here.
We harvest beans from the garden. Then we dry them on tarpaulins. Then they are beaten by the stick. Then the seed is put on this rack for removing the dirt.
Now, after the project, the SACCO has saved enough money to buy enough machinery to take care of these issues. You now have a cleaner that does the cleaning for them. At the same time, it does a bit of grading. So if someone's looking for a particular side or a particular seed, this machinery takes care of it. The ladies do not have to throw baskets in the air anymore. We now have a winnower in here to cater to that. Take a look over here. You now have machinery to take care of that. Put in the bins after they've been dried, and voila, you have yourself unshelled beans. The project has been so kind, and the farmers are rather innovative and very developmental. At the end of the day, people are growing. Originally, beans were brought in and weighed over here. You need all the muscle to lift the beans onto the scale, just to let someone know how much they've brought in. But hey, we've gone digital because we're now making the money. We now have a digital weighing scale. If we take a look on this side, we are looking at, that was post-harvest handling. Now let's look at a bit of value addition. We are packaging the beans, we are selling the beans for seed. For farmers out there trying to figure out how the circle is making extra money, well, they have quality bean seeds. So they are selling, they're packaging and selling for seed. So every farmer out there is sorted. Just reach here and get you some seed.
This one is a narrow bean 2. Narrow bean 2. Then after planting it for the first season, we sell it as a local bean to other farmers to grow it for one season and sell it.
This is strictly for seed, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. For how long before it is ready for harvest? When someone buys and plants it, how long does this?
75 days.
Oh, okay. And how much are we selling? Because I can see it in different sizes.
This one is 1 kilo.
Yes.
We are selling, it will depend on market.
The prices fluctuate.
Fluctuation of market prices, because you'll find that this season of January to March, it is very short after harvesting, and usually the bean is at a low price. So that one we usually sell a kilo 5,000.
I see.
Then when it is in September, when it has taken long, for us we have 2 seasons, we sell it mostly 6,000 per kilo.
Oh, I see. And then these are how many kilograms?
Those are 4.
And just when you thought things could be harder in the garden, I believe that they've gotten them a planter. Yes, a planter. Please tell us more.
A planter, this one spaces more. Spaces the beans in lines.
Yeah.
You will be pouring it and dropping the seeds. When it is, you have finished planting, you use this hand sprayer to spray the beans.
Okay, now what is
then
this for?
Then this one is for seeding.
After packaging?
After packaging, you put it in a machine. Instead of seeding with the candle, you use the machine.
Use the machine. Well done. You are doing a very good job here.
Okay.
In line with sustainability, the ACDP initiated the journey, and now it's up to the cooperatives to continue it.
All these farmers who benefited, especially under matching grant, had a business plan. That's a roadmap in business. So, one, of course, all our structures are not white elephants. They are functional, but again, the farmers all the groups of farmers, or the associations, or the cooperatives who prepare the business plans, we indicated it to them that when they contribute to the construction of the structure, that is already part of self-ownership. So part of the profits, of course, is to ensure that the structure remains operational. And even as we see, there are some equipment which they have purchased on their own, using what they got from their sales. So the issue of sustainability, we started with it from the word go, but also technical guidance, linking them even to other players. Like for instance, this group is linked to WFP, World Food Program.
Yes.
You know, Isingiro has 2 refugee settlements. So we have a lot of NGOs, a lot of development partners like the World Food Program, Send a Cow, which is now Ripple Effect. So part of the SMITE plan is to ensure that they don't work in isolation after the project. ACDP made them move. They started moving. Now they are walking. Actually, some have reached at a stage of running. Government itself, like in Isingiro, there are more projects which are coming up. So those projects are going to add on what these farmers have already started doing. But the good thing is farmers are doing it on their own so far. And then they also have the issue of the internal resource mobilization. Whatever they get as profit, they don't eat all of it. Yeah. They save.
Of course.
So as they save, at least they have what to use in ensuring that the barking center remains operational.
How are we going to ensure that farmers continue to get genuine products? If someone is buying something that has Bukola Chemical Industries, it is indeed Bukola.
Yeah, with the e-voucher, we came up with the input dealers who are put on the system. Those who had issues were blacklisted. Those who performed very well, the input dealers who performed very well on the system, still the farmers established linkages. And remember, these input dealers had to put stores, or what we would call distribution points. In some, like in the Isingiro Town Council here, where the structure is, we have input dealers, we store stores. So those input dealers, the farmers have been dealing with on the e-voucher system, established networks in the district which are still functional, and farmers still go and pick those inputs from there. Yeah.
In our farming opportunities today, Bukola Chemical Industries shares tips on what best inputs there are for the farmers. Weeds can cause between 30 to 60% yield loss in beans if not managed well. Use Weed Master to start off with a weed-free garden and prevent competition with germinating beans. It is also critical to remove weeds within the first 4 to 6 weeks after beans have sprouted. Use Pontent to weed beans at 3 to 4 weeks to avoid disrupting the crop when flowering starts. Every extra day weeds stay in the garden, a farmer could lose 1 to 2% of the yields. Always ensure insect pests are kept at bay, as severe infestation causes up to 50% loss. The control measure is determined by the type of insect pest to be controlled. Consult an agronomist for an appropriate insecticide. Successful flowering is a major yield determinant. Enhance flowering and ensure flowers do not abort by nourishing the bean crop with Kara. The essential nutrients in Kara will enhance flowering and pod filling for heavier grain.
That's all we had for you today. Keep those comments coming in. #NTV Seeds of Gold. Miss an episode? Well, you can catch a repeat every Tuesday afternoon or check our YouTube channel and you'll get your feel. Bunyangabu District, here we come. See you next week.